Hi everyone, it's Miss Kelly from the Wakanda Area Library to show you what we're doing with this month's Art to Go kit. This month you guys will be doing some shibori tie-dye. The difference between regular tie-dye and shibori tie-dye is more about the way you prepare the item that you're going to dye instead of the dyeing method. A little bit more intricate folding than just twisting and putting some elastics on it. So in your kit this month you're going to find a box of dye, some elastics and some gloves. You're only going to have one color dye for this. Like I said, we're going to focus more on the folding than the color. You're going to need a container to do your dyeing in, something to dissolve the dye, and I think it helps a little bit if you can dissolve it in here first. You're going to need something to cover your surface with, and I can't stress enough, this dye will stain everything that it gets on. So I highly recommend that you work on this outside. I did my dyeing outside. For filming purposes, I brought the completed items inside to show you. But make sure you talk to your adults to see when and where they would like you to do this before you work with this dye. Also think about what you're wearing when you do it, because anything that it gets on, it could very easily stain as well. So that being said, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the method of dyeing we're using. So since it's just one color, we're going to take and you're going to pour your dye, your packet of dye. You'll pour it into a cup or a pitcher if you have one, and you're going to add the hottest tap water you can get. Just hot tap water is fine. And it's a powder, so you want to dissolve it. So it'll dissolve in here first. And then you're going to take it and pour it into the bucket or the bowl that you're going to use. Make sure it is a bowl that is not for food preparation or a bucket. And make sure it's clean before you put anything in there, though, because it will transfer onto your item. Okay, and then once your dyeing solution is ready, we can put that to the side, preferably outside, and we're going to get our objects ready to dye. Once you start getting the dyeing solution ready, I recommend you put your gloves on before you even open the packet of dye. Okay, I'm not putting them on right now because they are a little tricky to fold and wrap your items with. So you can dye anything that is white or light in color, preferably cotton. It seems to take, or at least partial cotton, it seems the dye takes best to cotton items. A bag, a pillowcase, a t-shirt, socks are even fun to dye. So I'm going to show you one of the folding methods here. Okay, you're going to fold it in half and fold it in half again. By doing it this way, we'll make sure each section is really even. Okay. Now you could leave the handle out and maybe try not to get it in the dye solution, maybe keep it white, but I'm going to fold it inside and let it get dyed too. We'll see how that comes out. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to fold it in half and then fold it back and turn it over and fold this one back. So you should have a neat square. So, and then I cut out these little squares of cardboard just from a cereal box. Usually when they're doing shibori, they use little wooden blocks, but I tested this and the cardboard seemed to work pretty well. And then you're going to wrap it tightly with an elastic. You're going to put one on both sides. I find it's easier to get the one on and then kind of slide the other one in. Try and center them both in the middle there. I'll add another elastic to the other side. Okay. Now I did find that you're going to get a little bit of a line from the elastic, so I tried to line them up so they were overlapped, so you didn't have a bunch of little skinny lines on the side. I'm going to do another one here. You want it on there fairly tight to hold that square in place. Okay. All right, that one's ready to go. I'm going to show you another one. So we're going to start laying it out again. Fold in half. Let's do it this way a little bit longer so you'll be able to see it. I'll fold it in half. Fold it back. If you can try and make it even smaller, keep going smaller this way. I find it's a little hard for me to work with. So we're going to go in half again, and then back. Okay, so now we know about what size that square is going to be. So I'm going to fold it into a triangle, and then fold it down. And then fold it open. So once you get that triangle, you're just going to keep switching it back and forth. All right. The trick is to try and hold it really tight the whole time so it'll be even. And last one, fold down. Now I've got this big stacked triangle. Same thing, secure it with some elastics. Once you get one on there, it's a little bit easier. Now I left the handles out this time so that I can just try dip dyeing it. Dip dyeing is the method where you're just gonna hold it in the dye for a little while, or you're gonna dip different sections of it in. Like I said, since we're doing just one color, the only variations you're gonna be able to do are either by dipping it or maybe leaving one item in there a little bit longer than another item. So that'll give you different variations in it. It's pretty tight. Can maybe do one more in the middle. Okay. Here we go. Okay, and then I'm gonna do one last one. This is I'm gonna start this from the corner here, and we're gonna fold it back. Now this one I'm gonna do a little bit less precise because I wanna get kind of a more free-form look. I'm gonna go back and forth. It's almost like making a paper airplane. Fold it up. Again, I recommend you can look online or you can look in a book. There's a lot of great different folding methods. Okay, get some more elastics out. If you want to do a more traditional tie-dye, the one we've all done where we take a t-shirt and twist it in the middle and make a circle and just put elastics around the whole thing, that's fine. It's entirely up to you. You know, I always stress that this is your art project. These are suggestions. I think they're fun. It's kind of a new way to learn something, puts a little different spin on it. But if you really like the traditional method, do it. This is your project. You should be able to dye 3 or 4 items easily with this amount of dye. It should be pretty easy. But like I said, make sure you talk to your adults about where to do it, where to dispose of the used dye, where to rinse your items out. I'm going to include an email to the sign-up address with the method of dyeing that I used. But once you get your items all ready, you're gonna submerge them or just dip them in your dye. I made sure mine were completely submerged and I left them in my dye for about an hour. And then I, with my gloves on, took them out and squeezed them out a little bit and put them in a plastic grocery store bag. I left them sealed in the bag overnight. If you don't have a plastic bag, you can use plastic wrap. And you can leave like 6 hours or overnight, just depends how dark you want it to be. And after that, I took them out and I took them outside and rinsed them off and squeezed them out, opened them up and let them dry. To wash your items in the washing machine, they need to be washed in cold by themselves with nothing else, because no matter how careful you are and how long you let them sit, they will bleed a little bit. So again, talk to the adults in your life about when and where they want you to watch them, because this can be a pretty staining project. Okay. All right, so see, these are 3 just kind of traditional shibori folds. Like I said, you can look up a ton of different ones. They're really fun, and depending how intricate you want to get, also depending what you're dyeing, how big the item is, how small it is. I'm going to show you how each one looks. So this one, once dyed and opened up, came out like this. So you get that pattern that comes out from the corner. And then this one, this is what those little blocks did. It made the squares on there. And this one, similar, that gave you the triangle effect instead. All right, so I hope you guys have fun. Give it a try. Like I said, be careful. It's a messy project, but it's really worth it and it's fun. It's a great thing to get outside and do over the summer. Send me your pictures of your finished products so that I can see what they look like. Have fun and keep an eye out for next month's project. Bye.